Hello. There's the camera right there. All right. What is happening, folks? I am Aunt Pruitt, and this is my little homage to office hours. This is Creator Office Hours. I try to do this on Fridays at about this time each week. That varies depending on my schedule and stuff that I got going on or may have going on. Sometimes I actually have stuff to do, which is nice. I need that. Hope y'all are doing well. I am unbelievable as always. Appreciate y'all popping in here and hanging out with me today. I like to do this and just sit down and answer any questions people may or may not have regarding the creator space and content creation and stuff like that, or just answer general questions about whatever if they seem interesting to me. Let me close this window back here. Is that backlight? Move that down. There we go. But if this is your first time popping in here, go ahead and hit subscribe inside of YouTube right now. And if you're popping into the live chat, go ahead and say hello there so I can know that you're there. And make sure you hit the like button inside of YouTube also. And I tend to stick around here for an hour or so, depending on how things go. Sometimes I cut it short, sometimes I go a little bit longer. It just depends on the flow from the community and questions at hand in the queue. But right now, I don't see any questions in here, so this may be a short show. I didn't have a particular agenda this time. Every now and then I'll try to pre-plan some stuff and put a particular subject or what have you to discuss. Like I've talked about color grading, I've talked about cameras in particular in the past. I've talked about some topical news and things like that, but I don't have anything this week. Just hadn't been able to, but it's all good. So if you got questions, just throw them there inside of the live chat here on YouTube, and we can go from there. Also note that there's the super chat options in there if you'd like to help contribute to said YouTube channel and my creative endeavors. I'd appreciate it. If you can't, that's okay. All good. So now I see someone has popped in here. This is Arun. It says, hey man, what is up? Hey, good to see you there. Thank you for popping in here today, hanging out with this. Yeah, not much going on today so far. I got some, I guess you can call them honeydew things to do today. Not too much. I do have that Sony camera that I get to open up, and I shouldn't say get to open up because I've been able to open it for a little while. I just had other stuff in front of it from a priority standpoint. As a matter of fact, where is that camera? I should probably locate it. Is it here? Oh, yeah, here it is here. Let me just go ahead and open this box now. No, I'm not doing an unboxing. And for those of you that aren't familiar with me, when it comes to doing reviews of products and whatnot, I'm not naive and going to sit here and say that, hey, I should be able to look at this stuff first. And, the new cameras that get announced, I should be able to be on that list and get them firsthand and try them out. That would be nice. But I can guarantee you that even if I had the cameras or whatever first, I'm not the kind of person that's going to do a review right on the first day. And I know that all of the other influencers out there that's their game. That's what they do. And it works for them. That's fine. Me personally, I'm not doing that because having a camera or any type of tech device for just a couple of hours, I don't think that's good for the people looking for information from you as a so-called influencer. So if I get stuff late, it's cool because I'm going to take my time with it and share my thoughts. I don't just do it all for the clicks. I mean, the clicks help. They're definitely necessary. but I want people to come back. You know, I don't want it to just be the new hotness of the moment and you forget. So, what the hell is this? Is this it? That's an interesting box. I've never seen a box like this from them. Okay, and yeah, and this is the return label. Okay, good. So this is a Sony camera. Let me open this up. Do I have? You probably won't be able to see. Yeah, that camera isn't zoomed in enough, but this is it. And my studio is a mess right now. Thank goodness it's dark over there. But this is Sony's latest vlogging camera. Open that up. Here we go. All right. Let's take this lens off. Not bad. APS-C sensor on it. Not bad. Can I put the lens back on? No, that's the question. All right, this is the ZV-E10 Mark II. ZV-E10 Mark II camera. I'll switch this back now. The Sony. Is the camera going to focus? Focus camera. There we go. Why isn't my camera focusing? It's focusing on the face, I guess. All right. I'm fine with that, as long as it focuses on my face. Yeah, this is their Mark II vlogging camera. The first one was really good. Curious to see what they did with this one to make it better. It's super small, you know, which is great for portability when it comes to vlogging content and whatnot. But man, even though it's super small, this grip feels really good for someone like me that has big hands. That's such a great improvement with smaller cameras over the last couple of years. You know, I know they want to make things smaller, but it's nice having a grip that's perfect for pretty much anybody, and still have all of the perfect functionality with the buttons and dials and stuff right where they need to be. Now, granted, I'm sort of missing out on the back. My thumb is way too big, so I have to reach a little bit more back there on the back. But not bad. I'll be playing with this over the next week or so, and we'll more than likely have a demo / commentary of this camera on zdnet.com. zdnet.com is where I do a lot of this writing stuff these days. Thank you to Mr. Jason Heiner and ZDNet for allowing me a space to not only put this kind of content out there, but also be paid for it. So thank you. And thank you to Sony for sending it to me so I can publish it and be paid for it. So, all right. So anyway, this is again Creator Office Hours. I am Ant Pruitt. Thank y'all for being here. If you got any questions, just throw them there inside of the live stream chat here on YouTube. Be it about the camera, be it about creator process, be it about Olympics, whatever else. Depends on what it is. I'll try to answer the questions as best I can. And also, please feel free to join the Patreon community if you're interested. Just go to patreon.com/AntPruitt. And yeah, I have a community over there that I'm slowly building up and want to get content going specifically for our Patreon members. All right, so in the meantime, I'm just going to sit here until some questions come in. And if they don't come in, I will cut this short and go on about my day. Because that's how this works. And I see people are watching, but you're shy. You're shy. You don't have to be shy. You can ask the questions. It's okay. In the meantime, I will put up I'll also put here in the chat the podcast for this week was published, and that is the Everyday People podcast. Let me pull this over here like so you can see it on the screen. There we go. So now if I do that, you see it on the screen, and this is the Everyday People podcast. Show title this week, Show Me Your Crickets. Totally random. All right. Get that out of there. Go away. There. It didn't want to go away for some reason. And a link to that is going to be right here in the chat. So copy and paste. It's audio and video versions available. I can close this stuff too. That's already done. There we go. All right. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. If no questions pop in here, I'm out. In the meantime, I'll go back to my computer and work on some stuff while I wait. Clean up my hard drive. Right now I have, according to Lightroom, at 5,051 images that need to be deleted because they're not very good. So I'm going to delete those and make space on my daggum hard drive. And I know a lot of people are not necessarily for Adobe Lightroom. They're like, it's so slow, blah, 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 and it's just this and it's that, and it's expensive, yada, yada, yada. But I like it. I like it because it helps me organize stuff. And being able to organize stuff. Hello, Chris H. Chris H says, yeah, I'm here. I'm working. No questions, but I'm working. That's all good. Thank you for being here. But yeah, as far as Lightroom, like right now, like I said, people give it a lot of grip. They give Adobe a lot of grief, and rightfully so, because it's freaking expensive, no doubt. And I still like Lightroom because it just keeps things organized for me so easily. You know, and as I go through culling images, I just have a way of labeling things. And when I label stuff red, that means at some point I need to delete these daggum photos. And so last weekend, I shot a 707 tournament, and I think I ended up with about, I don't know, it might have been about 5,000 images over the weekend. Let's see. Let's scroll down here. Yeah, 5,706 images were captured in 2 days. And the thing is, you know, I only published roughly 200 of them. Maybe that many. I don't know. It wasn't that many, but I have 5,706 clicks of the shutter that happened in there. And of course, when you're shooting at, you know, roughly 20 frames a second, you're going to get a lot of clicks in there that don't really matter, or clicks that are pretty good, but they're not necessarily usable. For example, let me move this camera over here this way. Let me do this. Put it down like that. For example, this image clicked in, and it's sharp, you know, in focus and all of that. But I can't use that image. I can't use that image because, number one, his face is covered up. And then number two, I don't like how how his foot is cut off down here in the framing, you know. Now, granted, I could just sort of crop it a different way, something like this. I like to do 1:1. I could crop it like that or whatever. And that's, still a okay picture. But again, the fact that this dude's face is not visible, that totally screws that up for me. So I need to mark that as a red, meaning I'm going to delete that at some point in time. But yeah, that's what happens in shooting those ball games. And I have to have Lightroom help me stay on top of things and keep myself organized. But yeah, 5,000 images. And some of these I didn't even mark because I was in a hurry trying to get other stuff out. Like these here, that's got to go. Nope. None of those are good. This ain't bad. It's out of focus there. And the beauty and detriment of being able to shoot really, really high frame rates for stills, the beauty of it is you can get some really compelling shots of people in motion. And the detriment is you get some uncompelling shots of people in motion. That shot right there, I knew the ball was coming to him because I remember looking at the quarterback right there and I could see his eyes, and I immediately jumped my eyes down the field to the potential receivers, and I spotted this guy. So I locked in on him and I focused on him. And since I didn't know when the ball was coming, I started shooting. I just held the shutter down because I can't see out of my other eye when the quarterback decides to throw it. And when I started it right at the right time because the ball was in the air, apparently, because he started to jump. This shot is useless. That one's useless. Useless. I mean, what is that? This one's not bad, but it's still not a good one because it's cutting his feet off. Useless. Getting better, but still useless because his toes are cut off. Getting better. Toes are still cut off. Better, but now his face is covered up. Toes in the frame. Now, see, that's not bad. And you can see his face. The only problem is, why is his hands up? There's no ball here. So loses context there. Now we got a ball. So that one works. But I don't even know if I used that one. Because again, his face is visible, but it's still not necessarily identifiable. So marked red. All red. Now that one's fine. And see, I can crop this one. Let's do 4 to 5. So let me rotate. I could crop this one now because this is still usable. Not that I did use it, but it's usable. Let's get this horizon line squared away because y'all know you got to have your horizon and image lined up pretty good. There. Now that's a much better frame. I'm not going to use it, but I got it. So maybe I'll keep it there. I'm not going to mark it red. I'll keep it there. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Lightroom just helps me keep stuff organized. And like I said, I got all of these 5,000 images in here, and there's a lot that could be deleted. So I go over here to this metadata tab at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Metadata. Pussy. There it goes. And then I just click on the label and I say red. So everything is red. For this particular shoot, there's 2,600 in here that are red. Get rid of them. Let's take a quick look. This one is horrible. Focus locked in on the dude in the back. Didn't lock in on the guy that's running around, but either way, it's not a good shot. Even if it locked in on this guy, it's not a good shot. His foot's cut off. Foot's cut off again. This one's okay, but it's just not as compelling. He's in focus. Boring. This would be better if the ball was in there. That's not bad. But I still marked it as delete, but that's not bad. Let's take a look at it a little closer. So let's see, we'll do, whoops, wrong cropping. You know, this is how I typically do them for max preps, is that ratio. So we'll line it up. Okay, yeah, see, that one ain't bad. It still needs some correction for exposure and color, because it looks like my white balance off just a little. So let's warm that up some. It ain't bad. The ball isn't in focus, but I don't think it matters in this instance. The story is more so about these two guys right here, this guy and this guy. I think that would work. And I can play around with it. Saturation and all of that. Give it a little more contrast with the curves. Yeah, not bad. But for whatever reason, I marked it to be deleted. So, boring, 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 boring. This shot is... shots like this, some people will be like, yeah, this is a really good one. It shows him running and there's a defender in the screen. But in this instance, I think the defender in the screen takes up too much attention. You know, so let's see. Takes up too much attention. If he were a little bit more off screen, yeah, see, that's hard. Yeah, that looks a little bit better because it's bringing more focus to the ball carrier. But I don't know. I just didn't like the original frame of this guy being so prominent in the screen, especially right there. And then we're just shooting his back, you know? In sports, you don't want a lot of backs in your shots. You want faces. You want the ball. You know, that's a delete because that's just the back of heads. But I had to lock in on that because I assumed the ball was going to end up coming to this guy. It never did. And these are just out of focus. Back of his head, his back. Can't see his face. But damn, it's in focus. You know, and some of these shots, you know, they could still be used as just little fun, random things. But when it comes to me thinking about, will the parents want to buy this shot? Yes or no? And this shot, a parent is not going to want to buy it, in my opinion. If you were a parent of this child, would you buy this photograph? Let me know there in the chat or in the comments. And see, that one's just out of focus. And this one ain't horrible, but it just didn't move me. Bad framing. Look at his feet. I do like that he's looking straight at the camera, but you know, maybe crop it down like that. And this is another thing. I can't crop too much because if you crop too much, you degrade the quality of the image, you know. But yeah, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. But and that's barely on the edge of my cropping limitation. You know, some people will shoot really, really wide and crop in tight like this here. And that looks horrible. Look at that quality. I mean, look at the pixels. That's cropped in way too much. Don't do that. You got to know where the limits are. Even that is pushing it. Know where your limits are. And I think with this one here, like, this is still passable from a quality standpoint. You can still print that. But for whatever reason, I didn't roll with it. White balance was all wonky again. And the white balance was wonky that day because of shooting outside and clouds roll in and out constantly, totally changing the scene. Not to mention, I think this one was shot like at noon. So the sun is literally right on top of them. The worst possible time to shoot this stuff. But again, this is when the tournament happened. There's nothing else I could do about that. So what time was this one shot? Does it say here in my metadata? Normally it shows me time. Huh. Don't know why I didn't this time. No worries. Either way, you can tell just from after a while when you're shooting this often, you'll be able to tell what time of day it is from looking at the shadows. You know, the sun is just a little bit behind him right now because look at it's hitting the crown of his head, it's hitting the back of his shoulders right here, and then there's totally dark in front of him. His face is in shadow. So this is either like right before noon or right after noon, you know, as the sun starts to move across the sky. But it doesn't work for me. Anyway, that's enough of this. I am going to get out of here and just go ahead and start deleting all of these crazy images and get some hard drive space back. So I just select them all that are red, hit delete. Oh, it's because it's in a collection set. Try to remove them from inside. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got to go over here. I got to do it this way. So let's go into the collection itself. And that was Roseland and Archie Williams. And so this time I will select the reds in there. There we go. So just do a select all. Oh, there's a super chat in here. Hold on. I see a super chat. That comes from Ozone Nightmare. Yeah, it says, happy Friday, Mr. Pruitt. Sorry I missed you when you were in town yesterday. Next time, cigars and lunch will be on me. Hope all is well. Ozone Nightmare, thank you for that. I appreciate your super chat. And yeah, yesterday I did a photo shoot. I was a model for a photo shoot. For those of you that don't know, yes, I'm a photographer, but for the last 6 months or so, I guess 7 months, 8 months, since this is now August, I've gotten more work as a model than I have as a photographer. So yesterday I was a model for this company, and they happened to be in the general area of where Ozone Nightmare is. And I shot him an email to see if he was around before I left town, just, you know, see if he wanted to hang out. And I didn't hear back, and I started getting tired because I had a long day prior to that day. And I was like, yeah, I need to go home because I'm tired. Because actually I needed to come back home and edit the podcast from the prior day and get it out the door too. So I just came on home, but it's all good. Thank you, Ozone Nightmare, for your super chat. I do appreciate the super chats there in YouTube. And the super thanks, because YouTube also allows you to do super thanks in the comments if you don't catch them. If you don't catch live streams, you can go into the comments and do super thanks there too. It's pretty cool. So I appreciate YouTube trying to make things work for content creators financially. All right. So I'm going to get out of here because, again, there's no questions in here. And I don't feel like I'm being much help to all y'all. So I'm just going to jump back over here to my computer and start doing these deletes. Let's try that again. There we go. That's 185 to go. So delete. What the heck happened? Well, I deleted all of them. I didn't want to delete all of them. Uh-oh. Well, fortunately, they are still here. But, oh well. I can do it this way. Where'd my menu bar go? Even my menu has disappeared. Uh-oh, Lightroom, are you wigging out on me? Interesting. Oh well. All good. I'll figure this out here in a minute. Off the stream. No Zone Nightmare says, have a nice weekend. Thank you. You too. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Same to you, sir. All right, folks. Thank you again for hanging out and watching this. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Do something good for yourself and do something good for someone else. And also, just know that it's okay to love you some you. I shall see y'all next time. Thank you for being Patreon supporters as well. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care.